Hello. So today we are going to be talking about a lens, and that is the Canon 50mm f1.8 RF mount lens. So I just recently got this lens. I've used it a little bit. I've taken on a few trips, but I would say the biggest test that I have put it to is I used it for a event that I was shooting for the college that I do sports for. They have auctions and Hall of Fame inductee events and stuff. So this past weekend was a auction to raise money for the athletic department. So I decided not to take the 70-200. Well, I packed it, but I forgot the RF mount adapter for it to put it onto the R6. And after I realized that I was going to be stuck with the 50 the whole night. So my original plan was to start with the 50, jump to the 70-200 once things kind of settled down and people were sitting down. That way I could stay away from the tables and get the shots I needed of people talking, enjoying their night. But with that said, since I forgot the adapter, I was going to be sticking with the f1.8 50mm RF mount lens. And 50 millimeters is actually really good for events, especially an event that you're able to kind of move around like I am. We were on the indoor football field, and so I was kind of just able to like mingle and walk around with people, talk with people. The people I was doing this for said, just come, have some food, have some drinks, take some photos, don't make it too much about work. I went by myself. They did say I can bring my wife, we can just hang out, do our thing. I just kind of wanted to get the photos and kind of fully test out the 50mm. I haven't really done too much with it outside of maybe some travel stuff. So with that said, the 50mm came in really clutch. At f1.8, it comes in very handy if you're working in dark or dimly lit areas, which typically events are dimly lit. So I didn't shoot at f1.8. I wanted to give myself a little bit of breathing room, so I went with f2 and f2.8. I kind of bounced back and forth depending on the shot that I was taking. Most of them are going to be at f2, but with that said, the lens worked very well. The autofocus never hunted. Sometimes I just kind of hang the camera off my shoulder sling, and the camera would be focused on the turf down at my feet because the camera would be pointed down, and the autofocus would and then I would bring it up to take the photo. It'd be out of focus, but it would snap right onto the person's face that I was going to take the shot on. I take the shot and I was in and out. I felt like that came in very handy. The nice thing about the 50 also is you could see it's a very small package. And having a small package lens like that when you are shooting an event allows you to be less obvious and less distracting. So I was able to kind of walk around, see the shot that I want to take, and just pull the camera up and take the photo, move along. Camera's hanging back on my hip, on my sling. And I would just kind of walk around, talk to people, try some food, have a couple drinks, take some more photos. And I was able to just kind of move around the night and just capture exactly what I needed to capture. And that was just people enjoying the night, people participating in conversations and bidding on the auction and the band, whatever is happening at an event you're trying to capture without being too much of a distraction. So sometimes with the 70-200, it's a bigger lens, it's going to be more obvious that you're there. People are going to shy away when they see the camera. This, I was able to keep my camera on my hip, kind of walk around, find the shot that I want, and then when I found the moment, I would pull my camera up, take the shot, move along. Outside of event photography, a 50mm is just a really good lens to have in your camera bag. You never know when you need that f1.8. Most 50s are f1.8, especially when it comes to the budget ones. So like this is one of their early RF mount 50mm. It comes in at I think under $200, which is really good for a prime lens that works this well. Another cool thing about the RF mount lens is you got the control ring on the front of them. So where your typical manual focus would be or your zoom, you can change it to a control ring, and you can adjust. Pretty sure you can have it adjust your f-stop, your ISO, or your shutter speed, which comes in very handy. You're not moving around up here. You're already going to be holding your camera by the lens and by the body, so you're able to kind of adjust your exposure right there on the front of the lens instead of, you know, trying to mess with your buttons on your camera and pull it away from your face. You can kind of just have it set up for maybe your shutter speed up here and just kind of slow your shutter speed to get more, or speed it up if you need to adjust it there, and it's a quick adjustment. So that's a really cool addition to the RF mount lenses. With that said, I'd appreciate if you guys would turn on the bell notifications, like this video if you liked it, leave a comment if you have any questions about this lens, or any questions about the R6, or questions about event photography, whatever it may be. Soon I'm going to be live streaming. You can see that in my last video. When I shoot sport events, I'm going to be going through I have to go through the photos. I have to edit the photos, cull them down, and give the school the final images for them to use. And so I'm going to jump on a live stream while I do that and just chat with you guys, or girls, and talk about gear, talk about photos, talk about sports, talk about whatever you want to talk about that I might have a little bit of knowledge in. So with that said, I appreciate it if you guys would like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.